Let, Everyone, if you're watching, please share because me and Steve took about like 2 hours to try to do this shit. Well, it was mostly him, but actually, no, I did a lot of the magical work behind it.
Yep.
So,
And we're live on my YouTube too, which is the Network Compound, which I haven't put a video up in years, so I don't know how many people are actually going to look.
that's all right.
We'll build it up.
Yeah, cool. All right. Let me share on my Facebook. Oh, man. So, what are we going to talk about today?
Oh man. We're going to talk about you wanted to talk about conspiracies, and you had like something specific you wanted to say about them, right? Like not just conspiracies in general.
I didn't really prepare for that. I kind of like wanted to talk about this Epstein thing and what's happening because nobody's talking about it. So,
well, you hear it on the news, but it's basically just kind of like surface layer Epstein stuff, and then I feel like Area 51. That whole thing is kind of a cover up, not a cover up, but a distraction from the Epstein story.
So, all right. So before me and Steve were going live, we were talking about the whole Epstein thing. And then all of the internet was shutting down. We kept getting these weird feelings in the shop. And I had to call Jess and I was like, what do I do? I kind of knew what to do, but I always ask Jess because she's really good at protection. And I had to do, I had to sage, I had to drum, I had to make a candle, I had to make another candle, I had to draw on a piece of paper. Like, I had to do all this fucking shit. And as soon as I started drawing on the paper, that's when the internet started coming back. But I'll tell you right now, I was working with Odin. And when I walked outside, because I was like, I'm going to go fucking sage outside too. I saw Hugin and Munin, which is Odin's crows outside. They were cawing at me when I walked outside. And I was like, all right, Odin's here. Some people that may be watching this maybe think I'm crazy, but...
No, I felt it. I would just chalk it up to it's hot and everyone's running ACs and the electricity is screwed up and blah, blah, blah. But right before you called Jess, I started feeling like queasy and like jittery, which that never happens to me. I don't get anxious or anything ever.
Yeah.
So I definitely felt it. Who knows what it was? But you said you didn't think it was anything serious.
Because Ashtar, the statue that we have in the shop, normally he gets all like really like his skin gets dark and it looks like he has a 5 o'clock shadow. So he wasn't doing that. So I'm like, okay, it's not anything too serious. But it's definitely something lingering, like an energy lingering that doesn't want us to talk about what we're supposed to talk about today, which I guess is the Epstein thing, right?
So it was a little spy minion, basically.
Yeah, just trying to fuck with us. It was weird, though. It was like we were hooked up to the internet, but we weren't.
Yeah, it kept saying connected to Ascension Next Wi-Fi, and then you would go on, it would just say completely offline.
Yeah.
And we've been doing this for how long now? A while.
Yeah. So, my magical skills have worked. I can barely get anything over. I don't know what that is. Hey, Danielle. All right. So, what do you think about the Epstein thing? What's going on in your head? So, like, why don't we explain this to people because, like, some people are like, I don't know what that is.
Okay, so Jeffrey Epstein is a billionaire. I don't know how he made his money, but he owns an island, and I think it's technically called Orgy Island, but everyone's labeled it Pedophile Island because there are lots of supposedly human trafficked women, and I'm sure men too.
Right, yeah. They always leave out the men in this situation.
They always leave out the men because, that's just how it works with sexual stuff.
Right.
But and there's a bunch of victims who came out. I think it might be 5 or 6, but there's been tons.
But he's already a convicted pedophile.
Yeah.
Like they what did they labeled him as like I don't know what stage it is, but it's a sex offender.
Yeah, but basically he got off like scot-free because he's a billionaire.
Right.
But this guy has been in the news about this for a long time now, and he just keeps skating and keeps skating. And the reason he keeps skating is because he's connected to guys like Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and lots of famous people. And I saw an interview or an article the other day where there's a whole list of people that are going to come out eventually when the court case gets going. That's going to shock people. So
yeah, like people that you guys love, and you're like, I love their dresses and their outfit at the Oscars, and I just can't wait to, you know. And it's fucked up too, because there were some people on that list and I'm like, no, not that person. Then I was like, okay, I can kind of see it. You know, I think I don't really care. Me and Steve were like, yo, do you think The Rock is one of them? Because
everybody loves The Rock. You
I love The Rock, so I would be heartbroken.
To be fair, who knows if that list is the actual list? Because I don't think.
Well, The Rock isn't on the list.
Who knows if the court? Who knows if that's? I don't know.
I don't know if we saw the same list.
I haven't seen a list because
Yeah.
I was waiting for the actual court documents rather than like a speculative list.
Right.
But who knows? I mean, it could be the real list.
Yeah.
But my whole
Madonna was on the list, and
that's-
I definitely believe that bitch
Yeah.
went to that fucking island.
What a shock.
Yeah, I can't stand her.
I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't go in the sense of to be with, you know, younger women or men. I wouldn't be surprised if she was taken there when she was a kid and groomed into what she became.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because that happens too.
I don't know. I feel like she would go there too.
Oh, she probably would.
I mean, in my opinion, but I don't know her personally. I don't like her. I just
Yeah.
can't stand her. I feel like Angelina Jolie would be on the list. I don't think she was on the list.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Because-
oh no, I wouldn't be surprised either.
She likes to adopt kids from foreign countries.
Yeah.
And that's like a whole.
Yeah, that's
That's
a whole thing.
Just like the foster care system is a whole thing.
Yeah. So like my whole thing with this, and I went live on my page last night, and like I didn't even really talk about it. I mean, I did a little bit. I think somebody's commenting, "Hey, people who are watching on Steve's YouTube."
Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with anything, but thanks for watching.
What would they say?
Said twisted something and sadistic
Oh.
hate. Probably talking about the people who,
Okay.
who do that stuff.
So, like, my whole thing yesterday, I went live and, like, I was kind of talking about him a little bit, and I was just like, I don't know, because before I go live, I meditate, and I'm like, okay, I really, like, zone in on, like, what I need to talk about. Like, I just allow the message to drop in, and I kept hearing accountability, like, talk about accountability. So I was like, okay, that's something that, you know, I'm going to talk about a lot, because this is what I teach. It's like, in order to really have a deep spiritual practice, you need to be accountable for yourself. You need to be accountable for the actions you take and the things that you do. And, you know, that's how I really learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about the mistakes that I made, and I learned a lot about what I want and what I don't want in my life, was by really being honest with myself and being accountable for the things that I've done. And then, like, Epstein kept popping in my head when I was doing the video, and I was like, okay. And, like, that was something when I was actually watching some of the victims' videos, and I kept hearing that is like, people don't hold people accountable, because it's like they want to make up who the bad guy is in their head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem that we have with society, is like, no, that guy's the bad guy, but that guy, nah, he's not the bad guy.
And where does that come from? That comes from the media
Right.
telling you who the
Right,
bad guy
who
is.
the bad guy is. And then this morning I'm thinking about it, and like I'm getting all aggravated, because I get really aggravated about this subject. I mean, you know, everyone who knows me knows that this is a trigger for me. And honestly, I've never been sexually abused in this life. So like, it's just one of those, I just can't, like, you fuck with kids, it makes me want to kill you.
Have
you know
you
what I mean?
in a past life?
Yeah, I've had.
So you probably have these deep-seated memories.
So
and
supposedly
pieces of it.
in a past life, and I've had at least 4 or 5 people pick up on this while they were healing me, and they didn't even know. I was a victim of sex trafficking my whole life. So people have seen this in my energy field, but I don't talk about it, because it's like, well, in a past life, I was sexually, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go down that road with people, but, it just makes me infuriated when I hear about the trafficking of children and nobody cares. You know what I mean? Like, nobody gives a fuck. Like, it's not talked about. Like, people will post shit about it and it'll be ignored. But when Trump said, grab a girl by the pussy, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fucking everywhere. Everyone's mad. Everyone's got something to say about it. Everyone's fucking pissed off. Everyone hates the guy. You know, I don't think it's right that he said that, but I'm always like, yo, there's people out there that are like keeping kids in cages, but you'd rather focus on that because that's what the media tells you to be mad about, you know?
And not only that, like, what he said is just words. Sometimes it's the way guys talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you really think he's walking up to a girl and grabbing her by the pussy?
I mean, you never know.
He's
a rich guy. They do that shit. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know Trump personally, right. But like that wasn't a huge trigger for me. That was like, oh, what a fucking asshole. But like Bill Clinton was getting blowjobs.
Yeah. And more than one woman came out about rape.
Yeah. Oh, a ton of women have come out about rape, and then like half of the people die.
And
but
it's known he's been to this island. There are
he's been to. That's the thing too. Is like the flight logs are like some people go once and then they never go back.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm sure there's a lot of celebrities that go there and they're like, oh, this is not the kind of orgy island that I wanted to go to. Like, I would like to have orgies with people that are of age.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that happens, you know?
So here's the thing, though. What I think this is, along with Pizzagate and stuff that happened in the 80s with they say satanic panic and all that, I think it's a pedophile ring within a blackmailing ring. So I think it's used to get people, politicians and people who are in power, even if they don't like kids, they're brought to these things and they're put in a position where they see this stuff. They're probably on tape, and that way they can say, hey, you gonna do me this favor? I got this tape. And then,
so you think like they like made them have sex with the kids? Or
I don't even think they necessarily make them have sex. They sometimes, like the people that just go there once, I wouldn't be surprised if they just went there, saw what was there, got put on videotape, and said, hey, you're going to do what I tell you to do now because I have this.
Yeah, like, so, like, even the people that are on that list, like, we don't know if they went once and they were like, fuck this, like, I don't want to be here. Yep. I think the people that are on the list we need to be concerned about are the people that keep going back.
Right.
You know what I mean? And obviously, we're not the FBI, so I'm sure they're looking at that stuff.
Yes.
But I was just like, this morning, I'm like, where's the outrage?
Yeah.
I think Leslie said that on the video yet. Where is the outrage about Jeffrey Epstein? I don't see anybody talking about it. Where's the marches? Well, where's the pussy hats? I don't see anybody with a fucking pussy hat walking around right now talking about child sex trafficking. Like, I don't see any outrage about it.
Into anybody's agenda because, like we talked about last time we did the show, there's polarization. So if your thinking is completely one way, anything that comes out about that, you're not going to question. It's going to be confirmation bias. And anything that doesn't fit into that little box, you're not even going to care about. Plus, I think that some of this stuff is so crazy that most people are good people and they don't even want to think this stuff exists. So they just bury their head in the sand and just go about their life.
That makes me angry, though.
Yeah.
That makes me so angry. Because it's like, this is children that can't speak for themselves. Like, these are kids that are being raped and like mentally abused and
tortured.
Some of them are real, like when you get down and dirty, when you really go into it, it's like, and I don't even want to talk about that right now.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I would talk about that on a live video because it's really horrendous what happens to some of these kids.
And it also turns into a mind control situation,
right?
Because you're getting tortured and all this stuff, and these are the only people you come in contact with, and eventually they become like your captors, and when they're your captors, then they become your saviors because now they're feeding you and they're doing this for you, and then they become groomers for other kids when other kids come in.
Yeah,
it's like this big cycle.
Right. Right. So yeah, and then it becomes this thing where it's ignored. But like, you know, there's marches about guns. There's marches about, you know, there's the women's march for, I don't know, whatever the women's march is about, women's rights and stuff like that. You know, there's like all these marches and all these protests, but you never see anybody protesting or marching
Right.
or caring
Right.
about.
And if there is, it doesn't get any kind of traction
Yeah.
with the press.
But
at
it's like
all.
no, but I don't, like my timeline was flooded when the Kavanaugh thing was happening.
Yeah.
People had to tell me what it was yesterday because I'm like that guy in Congress and like I couldn't even remember the name because when I seen it on TV I was like,
Right.
this is like this to me it seemed like fucking bullshit.
It was a show.
Yeah, it was totally a show and I was just like I can't even pay attention to this.
Yeah.
But I literally couldn't go on Facebook for like a whole fucking week without seeing women constantly posting about this guy. And it's like, dude, like, you don't even know if he did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't even know if he did it.
Most of them don't even know the details from what I see.
I don't
People-
even know what happened with the
Yeah.
case. Like, I was totally confused about it. And I,
think
was
the
like,
lady
why is this
eventually
happening?
came out and said I made it up. Like,
Really?
And she was paid off by somebody.
Really?
Pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Nobody wants to deal with this trauma.
Exactly.
No, exactly. So Becky works with Becky, don't you work with children in Haiti? I think she does.
Well, speaking of Haiti, that's one of the
we
places.
should have Becky on the show because I think that she works with charities in Haiti.
That's one of the places. If you look into the Clinton Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
the Clinton Fund, there was a bunch of money that was supposed to go to Haiti when there was some kind of natural disaster that happened there, and a bunch of money got funneled away from that and into the Clinton Foundation. And if you look deep enough into all this stuff, there was a lot of human trafficking there, and there was a lot of human trafficking through the Clinton Foundation. Now, whether that has anything to do with the Clintons, it doesn't necessarily, because I'm sure the Clinton Foundation isn't run by fucking Bill and Hillary
Right.
Clinton. They're not doing anything.
Right.
It's just under their name. But if you look, I can't remember the woman's name. It was a woman who was doing this human trafficking through the Clinton Foundation through Haiti.
She says, I know about those Clintons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a mess down there with that.
There was one girl that took Angelica who works with Becky that went to Haiti. And she was telling me it's just like the people there are like, it's just very, very negative and fucked up. And it's just, I don't know.
And
That's
I
a-
think there's pretty much a bounty on the Clintons' head. Like if they showed up in Haiti.
Really?
They're dead. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
They should go to Haiti.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, wow. She holds trauma groups. Becky, we should have you on the show one day to talk about that. Because I think that people need to hear about that and what you do. Hey, Inez. So, yeah. So, it's just like one of those things where I'm like, where are all these people? Where is everyone?
Yeah.
I don't see anybody talking about. Inez said she was trying to talk about this the other day, and people didn't know what she was talking about.
Yeah.
And like, even Jay came in for my promo stuff, and I'm like, the Epstein thing. He's like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't watch the news much, but I imagine it's pretty much just like, hey, here's this billionaire guy, and he might have had sex with some
But he
kids.
definitely did.
Oh, he definitely
Like,
did.
it's not like the Kavanaugh thing where it's like, this might have happened. It's like, no, this did happen.
But see, that's all the media will tell you. That's not even the story. The story is all the powerful people who go to that island.
Right.
You know, I mean, obviously, that's a story too, but the big story, the foundational story is all these powerful people that go there, because that's one of the reasons this country is so fucked up, because I'm positive they use this shit as a blackmail to get people to do to get politicians and other people to do what they want to do.
yeah, I definitely agree.
I think Epstein even there's something recently that I read that there was somebody needed a favor from Epstein, and it was that whole kind of control thing with the pedophile stuff, like a blackmailing thing.
So they're just a bunch of asshole people who like to blackmail each other.
Well, I think there's that aspect, but there's also the more occult aspect with magic, with the
right.
energy of
Right.
the fear and the anxiety of these kids, and taking that in, because that's powerful.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that I like tell people. I don't think that pedophiles are really attracted to kids. I think that they want their energy, and I really think that they have an energetic attachment.
Psychic vampires.
It's like a parasite, like that feeds off of them and wants them to go take the energy from the kids. That's how I look at it from like an energy standpoint kind of way.
Yeah.
Not that it's an excuse for
Yeah.
like what these people do, but I think that it needs to be understood like that more. And I feel like eventually, maybe one day in the future, it will be. But for now, I don't. People aren't even believing that this stuff is real.
There's also
So-
adrenochrome, which
Yeah, I've heard
is
about that.
young. I think it's anybody, but especially with young kids. Like a lot of elites now are taking blood from young kids and injecting it to like be younger, and I guess it works.
Yeah.
But adrenochrome is when adrenaline is released, and if you say you kill one of these kids at the same time, like, and you inject that blood, you get that extra, like, I don't know how the scientific way it works, but
Yeah.
it's like a release of all these things that aren't normally in the bloodstream, and I don't know if it makes you younger or whatever it does, but that's also a thing.
I've heard of that. I haven't really looked into that, but I know that celebrities do, like, Sandra Bullock was on Ellen once talking about how she puts the circumcised penis parts in her face from kids that were like overseas. Like, she's like laughing about it on TV, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's normal.
that's fucking weird, man. I mean, you know what? If you're gonna use blood, like the vampire thing that people do, where the doctors take your blood and then whatever, it's your own blood.
Right.
But I don't know. That's just not. That didn't seem right. And they're like laughing about it, like ha ha ha. But that's like agenda setting right there. Like, that's what I talk about in my ETs 101 is. If that was on the news and they were like, oh my God, Sandra Bullock puts circumcised penises on her face, and like
And now
the
it
way
becomes
that,
normal.
well, no, if they were saying it in a way where you needed to be concerned about it.
Oh yeah,
That's when
different.
people would be concerned about it. But because she's on TV and they're like laughing about it and making jokes about it, nobody really thinks, like, that's how the media gets you.
And it becomes normalized. Like,
Right.
oh, I want to do that too. And then
Right,
it becomes
yeah.
like an
Yeah,
accepted
and
thing.
that's the thing, is like people can't think for themselves, and I'm like, dude, where is everyone with this situation? Because the media is not telling you to be mad about Jeffrey Epstein, so you just don't care.
Yeah.
Or is it because it's summertime and we're just having too much fun right now? Like, you know, we need to do all this stuff in the winter. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's just, if you're going to hold one person accountable for their actions or their words, like Trump, because he said that, when are you going to hold other people accountable too for the things that they're doing and that are in power as well? Like, you can't hold one person accountable and not hold the other person accountable.
Yeah, and until the media sets that agenda, people won't, because most people won't even know, because they won't hear it from the media.
Right.
So if you're not hearing it from the media,
Well, people say that this is conspiracy theory.
Right,
People
right.
are like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's a conspiracy theory. And I'm like, no, that's the fucking truth.
yeah,
Like, it's not a conspiracy theory.
someone put up footage on YouTube. His YouTube channel is it's Rusty Shackelford. So if you look up that on YouTube, you'll get a bunch of different Rusty Shacklefords. But there's one that has drone footage from the island. Like, he went over the island and there's drone footage, and it's strange. Like, there's the one looks like a bathhouse from the Middle East. It's like painted like blue and white stripes with like a golden dome. And there's all kind of like little occultic symbolism.
Oh, of
there.
course there's occult stuff in there.
there's-
Well, that's like a whole new episode of us to talk about that stuff.
That's a different subject. And again, not to say occult doesn't mean bad,
No.
but it can be used either way.
Right. So, I don't know. What do you think's going to happen? What's your prediction with it? You think he's going to go to jail? You think these people are going to be held accountable? Like,
My prediction is these are powerful people, and he's going to be a scapegoat. So he'll be the one that takes everything, and everyone that's on these lists and maybe can be proven, nothing will happen to them because they have a scapegoat now. Like, he's the face of this story. So
oh, so you think he'll go under, but nobody else will?
exactly, He's the fucking...
Do you think any of these people are ever going to be held accountable?
Even if somebody tries, I don't think people will believe it. Just like there's a whole the satanic panic of the 80s. There was all these kids who were disappearing from preschools. There was like this. There was a bunch of kidnappings back then. That's when the whole milk carton thing started. When putting kids on the milk cartons. And there's a documentary on YouTube. I can't remember the name right now, but it was made for the Discovery Channel, and it was banned before it could air. But then it got unearthed years later, and there's all these kids talking about details of people who were at these parties and how they got raped and how they got kidnapped and tortured. And like, there's one kid specifically that gives details about people's body parts. Like, hey, this person has a birthmark here. Like,
really?
And later on, it was proven that this person did have the birthmark there. And he would talk about all these other kids that were missing because he was like he would groom them when they came in because he was like under mind control. So some of them are still missing, and he would give like birthmarks about them too, and like the moms would hear it and they'd be like, holy shit, that's my son, he has a birthmark right there. Like, and so, but then people would just say, like, it all went to court. Like, there's all kinds of court footage and stuff on YouTube, but it went to court and they're like, oh, all these kids are lying, and nobody went to jail, nothing happened, and nothing happened at all. And these kids are still, some of them are alive, some of them committed suicide.
Of course.
Yeah.
How could you? I mean, I don't know. That's some serious shit.
So I wouldn't doubt if something like that happens again, but you won't even see victims' names. You'll see these.
Yeah, but we're in like a different time though. We're in a time when a lot of stuff is unraveling.
Well, you'll see it. You can't see, but there's a laptop right here. You'll see it here on this laptop, but you won't see it in the news, where most people aren't. I mean, most people are going towards finding the news themselves anyway.
Yeah.
But I think unless you hit that mainstream, it's not going to make a difference. It will make a difference in a sense. But
do you think that it ever will?
People have to change. It's
people have to fucking wake the fuck up, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
And stop with the mainstream media. Like, man.
People are stopping. Mainstream media is dying.
Yeah, but like it's like these marches, man. Like some of them, I'm like, I don't even know what you're like. It's like,
so some of it's fucking ridiculous.
It's becoming like, okay, let's go march about nothing.
Yeah, let's go march about a word somebody said that offended me.
Yeah, a word. That's
context, people. Context still matters.
Actions matter.
Yeah,
actions matter a lot. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think about Harvey Weinstein?
I think that's rampant in Hollywood. Like,
well, do you think that they threw him under the bus? I feel like somebody threw him under the bus and like, let's give up Weinstein.
Right. He's the Jeffrey Epstein. Like I was just talking about, like, he's going to be the face of it. Harvey Weinstein was the face of it, and that didn't really. I mean, nobody talks about that now. Like, I imagine that, and from what I've heard from like Corey Feldman and stuff, like when you're a child star, it's like pedophileville. Hollywood is fucking pedophileville, and it's easy to, you have these starstruck parents who just want their kid to be a fucking superstar. Right. Like, have you seen the Michael Jackson documentary, the recent one?
No, I don't want to watch it.
Oh my God, these fucking parents. Like, he's like, he meets them a day and they're like, hey, have him come stay with me at the Neverland Ranch. Even after some of the stuff came out, and the parents are like, yeah, take him as long as you want. And they just stays with him every day. And like, they would, even eventually the parents would go on the road with him, and Michael would just take him and sleep in the room with him, and the parents didn't care because they're getting all this shit from Michael Jackson. They're flying first class, and they're doing this and they're doing that, and they're rich.
Well, people do that anyways. Like, people have given their kids up for trafficking and things like that. So it's actually not something that is new. You know what I mean?
But I wanted to get to a point about conspiracies in general, because we kind of said it last week. There's so much. Like, when we first started reading about this shit, like, we were on the outside. Conspiracies. Like, we were crazy.
Right.
And now...
We're still crazy.
But now, I mean, everybody's into conspiracies.
Yeah.
Because everything is put out like it's a conspiracy. Like if you're conservative, like everything on the left is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
If you're someone on the left, everything on the right is a conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's conspiracies for everything now. Fucking flat Earth and blah blah blah. Like everything's a conspiracy now, and I think that's on purpose. I think they've weaponized conspiracies because now you can't tell what's real and what's not.
And I think that's the frustration with people that everyone's having. It's because, like, no, this is the truth, this is the truth, this is the truth. And I mean, everyone has their own truth within them. So like there's some things that you can't argue with people, because some people are going to care about some things more than others. I mean, that's just obviously how it is. But I mean, when it comes to something like Epstein actually trafficking and raping, I would say probably thousands of children, and then Trump saying something stupid, what outweighs that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like we need to begin to take more control with these situations and be like, this needs to be talked about, not so much this.
Right. And people need to have some discernment about the conspiracy theories, because you got to understand that when say 9/11 happened, that's when really the conspiracy stuff really started.
That's when
shape.
The world started waking up.
Yes.
That's when, like, it was like, whoa, this place is not what I thought it was.
And then they caught on.
Right.
And then they said, you know what, with the internet, we can't stop this because the information is out there. Let's just
if they started killing people or taking them,
and they can't even. I mean, you can do that, but that doesn't make a difference. But instead, they just said, okay, let's take this thing that's hurting us, these conspiracy theories, and weaponize it and make it work for us. Because now everything's a fucking conspiracy and nobody knows what to believe. There's certain things.
But that's where intuition comes in.
Right.
So that's what I try to tell people that I'm working with, and I stress a lot in videos, is that your intuition is the most powerful thing that you can work with. Your innate knowing and understanding. Because you even said, and I say this now too, like, I could watch the news and literally be like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And then it will come out that it's bullshit because I understand that it's not real. I can feel it within me. Like with the Epstein thing, besides the facts, I can feel that it's real. You know what I mean? Like, that's a real fucking thing going on, and that is something that's super serious. But people don't care. You know?
There's intuition, and there's, like I said, discernment. And the problem with discernment is, we talked about polarization earlier, and we talked about it last week. If you're polarized one way or the other, you got to understand, like, these things aren't opposites. They're on the same pole. A battery doesn't work unless you have a positive and a negative. You know what I mean? So if you're down the middle, like we were talking about last week, you're more liable to say, okay, I can tell that this is fake, or I can tell that this is real. Whereas if you're polarized, then you, whatever is fed into your belief system, you're
is
just
what feels
believe.
Right.
And that's the biggest problem, because they're trying to polarize everybody, and everybody's fucking falling
like,
for it.
because I'm this label, and this is the people that I'm around all the time, and this is what I have to believe. And this guy, he's gonna be my bad guy. Not that other guy. I'm not gonna pay attention to that other guy, because with the label that I carry and all my friends carry, and you know, that we get mad about, this is what I gotta get mad about. That's the fucking problem nowadays.
Yeah, and this guy that might be the enemy, he's got the same label as I do, so I can't call him my enemy. Because he believes the same shit I do.
And that's the problem that I have with labels, is like, I just can't with the I'm a this and I'm a this and I'm a this. I mean, we all label ourselves to some extent so we can explain our personality to people. But when your label starts controlling you and your thoughts, that's when you have a fucking problem. Hence the whole juggalo thing. You know what I mean?
And it's happening more and more, and it's happening more because they've weaponized conspiracy theories. And that's really
Casey just asked, what about the one storming Area 51? Do you want to talk about that?
Well, first it started as a joke.
But
I think someone revealed the kid's name last week, and he doesn't want to actually do that, but he does want to do. He wants everyone to do something that day to, like, try to reveal UFOs and stuff. But I think that came out at a really strange time.
Well, the Epstein thing was going on.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like,
exactly as this broke. Here's this distraction that may or may not be
What was the other
true.
thing that was going on? There was another thing. There's something
I don't
else. I
know.
can't think of it.
But every time something big like this happens,
There's always something else happening.
there's always, hey, see this hand over
Yeah.
here? Don't pay attention. over
Right. So
Always.
the Area 51 thing, I wasn't paying attention to that either. I was like,
here. Yep.
this is dumb. I don't even think there's anything there.
Even if there is, it's not like you're gonna walk in and
Right.
there's gonna be aliens walking around.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even necessarily a building. There's like a whole underground city there.
Yeah.
Like the whole place where Bob Lazar worked, which is S4, which is a part of Area 51. It's like a separate thing. It's supposedly built into the mountain, and you can't even see where the doorway is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you're gonna walk in there and be like, "Hey, alien, how
Yeah,
are you doing?"
yeah,
today? You
yeah.
know what I mean? Or, "Hey, spaceship, oh wow, that's cool technology." No,
Mm-hmm.
there's not gonna be anything you can see unless you storm the underground base. There's probably a whole fucking city under there that connects to the White House, and I wouldn't be surprised at
Oh,
all.
God, yeah.
So it's just a stupid idea. Like
Yeah.
it's cool in a theoretical sense. Like, hey, they're hiding shit from us. Let's
Right.
go take control of the situation. Mm-hmm. But it's really nothing. Like nothing's gonna come out of it. Even if a million people went down there, they already put a thing out saying, "Hey, we're ready to defend this if this
Oh,
happens."
my God. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's a distraction,
Oh, I do too.
purposely placed.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. The whole Epstein thing is just really bothering me.
It's a fucking big story. If the news lets it be a big story, which they won't, it would be.
But it is being covered on mainstream media.
It's being covered because he's going to be the fall guy.
And I even watched. Those were the things that I watched because I was like, I want to see what they do with this.
Yeah, because this connects to Pizzagate, and I'm sure there's people watching who don't think that's real. It connects to all the stuff in the 80s because this is, like I said, this is a whole pedophile ring within a blackmailing ring.
Right.
And
Within
this-
an occult, black magic,
yeah.
ritualistic, it goes even deeper. And then it connects to aliens. And then that's when people start losing their fucking
And
minds.
that's like 87 shows we just went
Yeah.
through without saying anything.
Yeah. I mean, we were having technical difficulties today. Like, I had to drum, I had to sage, I had to light candles. Like, my internet was working, but we couldn't get on the phone. Like, something did not want us talking about this today.
Yeah. And if black magic is running the world because these people like to do that, then they can do that kind of shit whenever they want.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's why we all need to be responsible and learn magic the right way. We all need to go to Hogwarts. All right. Let's see. Any other comments here? I don't know, man.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions or anything they want to talk about or anything they think we should talk about? Because we don't want to make this the conspiracy show.
No, we don't. We definitely don't want to do that.
But this is a big story, and we figured,
It's a big story that's not being covered at all.
right. So if anybody has anything you want to talk about. then
There
I'm
was
sure we
something
can
else
talk
I
about it.
wanted to talk about, but I totally forgot. I lost my train of thought.
Well, we went off on the Epstein tangent.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. And like with the whole Trump thing too, like because he said he was friends with him,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, the video came out yesterday of him with him, and he's slapping some girl on the ass. But that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he could have went there. Maybe he went once and and was one of those people that went once. Maybe he never did. But this guy,
I think that they did find him on there at least
Did they?
once. Yeah.
But you got to remember, the guy is also a billionaire, and he pulls strings. So just because you went to the island,
Oh
or
yeah,
just
I'm
because
sure
you're
they'd had
friends with him-
business meetings and stuff
Right,
like that
right,
there
right.
too. So
And who knows? I mean, Trump could be, anybody in a powerful position could be on that list because, like I said, I think it's a blackmailing ring.
And also, too, I noticed with the stories that they were telling, it was all girls that were like 14, 15, 16. And they're not talking about the girls that are like, or the kids
Yeah.
that are like way underage there
Right.
either, because there is that too.
Yep.
That's not being talked about. The only ones that are being talked about in the media are like the teenagers.
Right. Because that makes it not acceptable, but on a mainstream level,
Right.
acceptable. Oh, they're 15, 16. That's, 16 somewhere. I think here it's legal age.
Is it?
I think.
Well, but he was still used to trafficking them,
Right,
though.
that's
So
the
that's the thing, too.
That's the difference.
I think he cut a deal for 5 years, which is pathetic. Such a short time. Anyone else would have gotten life. But pedophiles don't even get life in prison.
No, I mean, you get regular everyday pedophiles.
Yeah,
doing
that
a
like
couple years.
rape people all the time, and they get like 3 years, and then you get that guy who's selling drugs, and he gets like 25 years.
Right.
Like, but that's the thing too is, yeah, like, all right. Here's the thing that people don't get. So, you know, people get mad with who was that kid Brock that got off. Remember, he raped the girl.
Yeah.
He sexually assaulted the girl at the party, and then he like didn't he get off or something like that? Yeah. All right. It's like cases like that, like smaller cases like that. What people don't understand is the judges and the lawyers that are involved in certain cases. Like, it trickles down. So if we're not holding the really big guy accountable, there's judges that are flying to that island.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? There's lawyers that are flying to. No wonder why our whole justice system is fucked up, because these people are in the justice system.
Right.
So, like, things can't be changed in our everyday justice system if we don't get to the top of, like, we don't start holding, like, the big guy accountable to trickle down and get the other guys.
Right. If this is a blackmailing ring, it's not just politicians. It's people in the justice system, judges, and it's
lawyers. They were saying academics. Like, what's an academic? Like a professor?
Yeah. Well, that's where a lot of this stuff is coming from, with the censorship of, oh, you can't say these words, coming from colleges. It's coming from college professors and teaching all this kind of shit. It's like old kind of Marxism, postmodern bullshit, and it's all coming from professors. So I mean, maybe that's why they're teaching it, because they want to cause these kind of things, because they call themselves, like, Antifa calls themselves anti-fascist, but
anytime you're anti something, I feel like that's just bad.
Well, I mean, you could be anti-fascist, but I mean, when you're telling people what they can and can't do, and then beating the shit out of them.
But to me, it's like why don't you just be a loving person?
Yeah.
That will counteract that energy better than going out and fighting it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And beating people down who don't believe what you believe, which in itself is fascist. So how can you be anti-fascist when you're doing shit like that? Right. It's again, it goes back to polarization.
Yeah.
The law of polarity.
Right. So yeah, it's like it's okay for you to hurt that person because you're the good guy now.
Right.
So,
like, you don't believe what I believe, so I can beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Like, there was some reporter who covers Antifa and what they do a couple of weeks ago. He's an Asian guy and he's a gay guy. So you would think, you know,
I heard about that. Please talk about this. Who is this guy? Do you know?
I can't remember.
I'm gonna look it up right now because this isn't being talked about either. And I was like,
but this is a guy who I think he leans left, which is Antifa is like far left, but he's Asian, so you can't say he's a white supremacist, and he's gay, so you can't say he's a homophobe, which is what they tend to say about people who are far right or whatever. And he covers Antifa, and he basically is anti-Antifa, not anti, but he covers them and covers all the bad shit they do, since nobody else does. And they attacked him. I think there's a group of them, maybe 5 or 6. They beat him with weapons. He had a brain hemorrhage. He was on Rogan recently. I didn't listen to the new episode.
Was he?
Yeah, and he detailed the whole situation.
I don't know how to say his name.
It's like NGO or something, right?
Went to the hospital and was treated for head injuries, including God, I don't know that word. A hemorrhage. He had a hemorrhage and a brain bleed. He was hit with milkshakes.
Yeah, so that's something they do, like the.
Oh, is that that's what it's saying here?
milkshakes
Oh,
at
and dry cement too. That's really nice.
They're also throwing acid on people. They're throwing acid on people. They're doing all kinds of shit like that, and that's polarization. Like, hey, you don't believe what I believe. Instead of having a conversation, like you and I can have, right? If we disagreed about something, we could just have a conversation about it. And that's it. No one's going to be.
But now what the media is trying to do is like, don't converse with these people. They're just bad.
Right, and they're making Antifa out to be like heroes.
Hey, Tracy.
Fighting for what's right.
I don't understand what they're fighting for. I feel like they're causing more problems than
Well, they are, but they're serving the agenda of the media at this point,
right.
which is
Being paid by George Soros, but nobody talks about that
yeah,
either.
nobody talks about that either. I have a video on my YouTube page, which is live right now, the Network Compound, that it's George Soros on 60 Minutes. I don't know if it was the late 80s or early 90s, and he talks about growing up in Nazi Germany. He's Jewish.
Yeah, I've showed people that before, and they were like, "Oh, he was just a kid."
Okay, and now he's not.
Yeah,
Now he's an old man. But anyway, to avoid being taken to the camps.
the Clintons' best friend, by the way.
Yes, he's like.
Now that we mentioned that,
If you want to talk about the Illuminati and all that, like he's not like a top guy, but he's like,
there.
He's like a top henchman.
Yeah.
So he was Jewish guy living in a Jewish kid with his father living in I don't know where he was. I don't know if he was in Germany or somewhere in a surrounding area.
It might have been Poland.
Might have been Poland, but
And he talks about this on 60 Minutes.
yeah, he was.
And he's like so proud of it too.
Yeah, he
like you can
basically-
watch the interview.
He basically said, "Okay, you're not going to take me. I'm going to help you find other Jewish people that are hiding, so you can take them." And he did, and eventually he became a billionaire. And he talks about going into these third world countries, collapsing their economy, buying them for pennies on the dollar, and basically just raping and pillaging all these countries through political civil war, basically without actual war, just kind of doing exactly what is happening in this country.
And you know what else is funny is that it was said, so I don't know if this is true, but I'm sure that you probably know, but Brian told me this, that a lot of these marches that are being organized are connected to companies or funded by companies that are connected to George Soros.
Directly funded by the Open Society, which is Soros's thing, and you can find that anywhere. He's funding all this stuff that is causing this polarization, because the more polarized we become,
The weaker we become.
the weaker we become. But say if Antifa continues to do this, then the other side is going to react in kind. So the far right people, like the alt right and all that, they're the ones who have guns and shit like that.
Right.
So if this continues to happen,
Oh yeah, there's gonna be like a civil war, and that's gonna be some fucking shit.
right, if it continues to happen, they're going to eventually react. And then where it goes from there, who knows? And that's exactly what they want. So somebody can buy it all up for pennies on the dollar and build it back up in their image,
Right.
basically.
Yeah, good stuff.
What an uplifting podcast.
Yeah, right. So this is just some of the stuff that we know about. But yeah, I don't know. I just keep saying I don't know because I'm just so.
It gets overwhelming.
It gets very overwhelming. Like that's why I was like, you know what? I'm just going to open the store and start awakening people through their energy field, because I feel like that's the only way that people can comprehend what's happening. If you're not energetically there, your mind can't meet it.
So here's a mind fuck. So if the universe is all and the universe is mental, like they say in Hermeticism, then if these conspiracies, say some of them aren't real, but everybody continues to talk about them, then they manifest into reality, even though they're not real.
Like the flat earth.
Like the flat earth.
Oh God.
And whether these conspiracies are actually real and actually manifest physically doesn't matter, because to the people who believe them and are polarized, whether they're real or not doesn't matter. They still affect their energy and everyone's energy around them the same. So it doesn't matter if they actually manifest in the reality, because it's still affecting the person the same way. The person who really believes it, perception is reality.
Right.
So whether it exists or not.
Well, that's why I had to like get out of conspiracy theories, because I couldn't handle it anymore.
Yeah.
Like when the election was going on and all that Pizzagate shit was going on, I mean, you and Brian were like going crazy into that, and then he was sending me all the stuff, and like I couldn't stop looking. Like it was just like. And that's like that's not a good rabbit hole. That's like the worst rabbit hole.
That's the mind fuck, because if they're not real, you're manifesting them, but you also can't ignore it.
No.
Because then you're just one of those people burying their head in the sand.
Right.
So you're fucked either way.
Yeah.
That's the mind fuck of it all. If what we believe.
Well, that makes okay. So when we did table tipping the other night, did you see who came through?
I did. I didn't see the actual video, but I saw people talking.
All right. So Freddie Mercury came through, and his message to us was that we need to build our own utopias inside of our mind.
Yeah.
Yep. You know? So, like, obviously, that's what I teach with people here is, I notice a lot of people have I notice with a lot of people, the biggest thing is the way that they think about themselves. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people have issues with thinking that they're good, or they're a good person, or they're good at something, or they have talent, because we're taught that that's narcissism.
Right.
We're taught that if you are proud of who you are and you talk good about yourself, then you're being a narcissist or you're conceited. So with the coaching that I'm doing with people, I'm trying to teach people, like, I have to reverse that. I have to build people up and then make them build themselves up.
Right.
And it's hard. It's so hard.
And then the way to keep people humble once they build themselves up is to use that energy to help build other people up.
Right.
And that's how you stay humble.
Right. So that's essentially what I'm doing now. Like, I built myself up. Now it's time for me to help build other people up.
Yep.
But that makes a lot of sense what Freddie Mercury was saying, because if we stay I feel like we need to know about it. So we need to know what's going on, right? Mm-hmm. We need to, like, know what's happening, but we don't need to be stuck in it.
Right.
We need to move forward with what we can move forward with, not be stuck in the... Also, too, in the fact, like, nobody's paying attention. Like, we need to just talk about it, throw it out there, and let the people that are ready to catch it. And eventually people will be... I don't know. I feel like 10 to 20 years in the future, things on this planet are going to be totally different.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think how different it is from, say, when we first started dating.
But I'm saying, like, I think it's going to be like aliens are going to be here.
Yep.
And there's going to be a lot of disclosure about things. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of these people are going to have to be held accountable. It's like the veil is lifting so hard that things can't be ignored anymore. And I also feel like, too, that when people ignore stuff, so, like, you know, one of the things that I tell people all the time, too, when I'm doing healing work or I'm teaching them or whatever, is, like, you can't ignore the issues that you have within you. So the big problem with spirituality is people are like, just focus on the positive.
No, you gotta know that shadow.
You do. You have to know your shadow self. You have to know the part of yourself that you don't want to know.
Right.
And when you begin to meet your shadow self, that's actually when you can go in the shadow world and begin to shed the light. Mm-hmm. Right. So, like, when I was, like, rapping, I wasn't connected with my shadow self. I mean, I was in a sense, but I wasn't taking responsibility.
Right. So when we were going to go in I was going to go in a certain direction with this whole thing, and I took a bunch of notes because I wouldn't have been able to explain.
Yeah, where are your notes?
I have it over there, but
okay.
we're not. And again, I don't think we're going to end up getting.
Right.
it. We kind of get into it, but I don't think we're going to get there. But one of the things I was going to say, and I was talking about polarity again, was that when you were rapping, especially at the beginning, we didn't really talk that much. Like, we would talk once in a while, but I would see stuff and I would hear stuff. And I would be like, that's not the Ashley I know. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that was like your shadow self and you just kind of let that take over for a little while. And that's how you get to know your shadow self.
Probably. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. But during that time, I was hanging out with a lot of people that were like doing drugs and like that lifestyle. So I was around a lot of shit.
Yeah.
That kind of put me in like survival mode too, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that is a great example.
That's not necessarily.
But I wasn't taking responsibility. My shadow self was like...
It was just there.
Oh, it was there and doing fucked up shit.
But you wouldn't be where you are now if you didn't know that shadow self.
No. And I think that's why I'm so good at what I do now and why people like me, because I'm somebody in the community that isn't all foofy fluffy and... oh, let me just pull a card for you and give you the answers.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, no, you got to go deeper than that. Like, you
Yeah.
got to go really deep. And it's even becoming the point in my practice where I only really want to work with really serious people. Like, hey, Michelle, I want to work with people that really want to put the work in. And I think that's part of the ascension process is we need to put the work in. But as far as like, maybe sometime in the future, and I do see this in the future, maybe I'm going to help some of these sex trafficking victims with their healing. I mean, I feel like that's a way that I could help that community.
Yep.
I'm not going to like strap myself up and put bazookas on and go to the island. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to do that. Maybe in another lifetime, I probably would have done something like that. But that is not why I'm here. But yeah, it's just, we have to figure out what is our role to help.
Yeah.
Because the more that it starts in your community first,
Yeah, who you have around you.
Right. And how you affect them. So like even Jamie D was telling me the other day, like how good of an influence I've been on Jess because she's seen Jess's growth. So helping Jess is ready to go help other people. You know what I mean? It trickles down into that.
Yep. And one of the things you were talking about, not getting stuck in these like conspiracies and stuff. So when I first, I don't know if you tell this in your story, when I first introduced you to this stuff, like you kind of went into like a big depression.
Oh yeah.
Because of it.
Yeah.
Because you were like, oh, this is what I'm living in right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, with the reptilian thing and stuff. Yeah.
And then, eventually you got to realize you can't let yourself get stuck in that. You have to be aware of it.
Right.
But then you still have to improve and be who you are. You can't just get stuck in that. If you get stuck in that stuff, that's when you get into that depression stage that you were in.
Right. Well, that's what I call going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's like, oh my God, we're just fucked and nothing can change. And there's aliens eating babies. Like it's just like you can't even comprehend that.
See, when I say
something it's just too crazy.
See, when I say going down the rabbit hole, to me, that's like, okay, here's this little nugget. That's gonna lead me to this.
Oh, that's what happens, though. Yeah.
Here and then you can't even make fucking sense of it.
No.
It makes sense in my head, but then when I try to explain, it's like, yeah, this doesn't make any sense to me right now at all.
No sense at all. But yeah, so that's the other. That's what happens with people when they start spiritually awakening. Anyways, they might not be seeing all the stuff that we're talking about, but they start going down these like little rabbit holes of this is my life and this is what I've made my life, and or oh my God, I've wasted my life, or so I think that everyone goes down those rabbit holes in like their own little way, but you have to do it. Yeah, that's part of doing the work.
Right. If you just ignore it, you're going to be one of those people we were talking about earlier that just bury your head in the sand and think everything's okay.
And going to George Soros marches and thinking you're making a difference when you're just wasting your time. And,
And just one of those people that, like you said, always just want to talk about the positive stuff, which is cool. Positive mental attitude is cool and it helps. But you can't completely disregard everything else. You have to understand that there's bad too. And
people that you like are going to do bad too.
Right.
Like, I think that's the other thing that people get tripped up on is like they idolize people.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've never been like that.
No,
maybe I did with ICP for a while, but other than that, like I never was like.
Yeah, I'm not the guy that's gonna go like stand in line for 3 hours for a fucking autograph or whatever.
Right.
You're just a person just like me.
Yeah.
You get the same shit
and that's the problem is that people idolize people way too much and they expect other people to help them. And people should influence you, but people aren't going to pull you out of your shit. You need to pull yourself out of your shit. And I think that's what people don't understand. That's why people love readings. Yeah. Because they're like, let me go get a reading and find all the answers. And it doesn't work like that. No. And like people get really mad sometimes when I'm reading them and then they ask me a question and I'm like, I don't know. I'm not seeing the answer. Well, I can't.
Here's a interesting little bit of a topic switch. Like I'm not I'm intuitive. I don't have any psychic ability whatsoever, but I will read my own tarot cards, but I don't read them in the sense like it's not like a like a psychic kind of thing. I don't know how it works for you, but to me,
I
again,
do more psychic where I read into their energy field.
Right.
But there's other people that do more mediumship where they just talk to spirit.
See, to me, I'll do my own. I don't think I
Mm-hmm.
would ever be able to do somebody else's. I'll do my own, and I'll look at the symbolism of the card, and I'll try to fit what the meaning of the card is into what's going on, and then it helps me think of a question or
Oh, yeah.
some way to fix whatever's
Mm-hmm.
going on. It'll help me think something else that I wouldn't have thought just on my own.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It expands your perception, and doing cards opens your energy field. That's why I tell people, if you're new to spiritual work, buy a deck of cards.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or crystals help with that too. They open up your energy field. They help you become aware of the energies coming in. It's like practice.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Right now I'm learning the Akashic records, so I'm literally opening up the records, which is like soul reading, and then just going in there and pulling information out.
So if you're doing that, we talked about Blavatsky and Alice Bailey last week. That's it. I think it exists mostly within like Hinduism and stuff, but a lot of their stuff,
yes,
a lot
it
of their
is,
stuff
yep.
comes from Hinduism, and they talk about that shit a lot.
The way that Edgar Casey read too, he read it through. He would go in people's Akashic records.
Basically, just the history of everything.
Right. Like when you're doing something like tarot or cards, you're reading the energy on the cards, you're reading the energy in the person in front of you. So like I've had people like, I've been reading and I keep seeing Target,
Yeah.
like the store Target. And I'm like, why do I keep seeing Target? And they were like, I was just there 2 hours ago.
That's where I got your little Apple thing today.
Oh, nice. But yeah, no, it's just like that energy's in their field.
Yeah.
But that's why I stopped doing walk-in readings, because people would come in frantic.
Yep.
So then I would be reading their frantic energy, you know, and that's not helping me or them. So,
there's a science. So not to cut you off, but there's
Yeah.
a scientist named Rupert Sheldrake who came up with this theory of morphic resonance, or the morphic field, and what
I was reading about that in my Akashic Records book the other
it's
day. Yeah.
basically the Akashic records.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking
Yeah,
thing.
that energy is held in everything, and it holds records. Like even this computer has records. These tinctures have records. Like it has like my records in these tinctures.
Well, yeah, like scientifically, anything that you can see has an energy,
Mm-hmm.
which means it's vibrating. And if you can see it, that means it's vibrating slowly.
Right.
There's a million things in this room now that we
A
can't see
million
because
things
it's
in this
vibrating.
I can't see.
It's vibrating so fast that you can't see it or touch
Yeah.
it. Think of like a tuning fork.
Yeah.
You have a tuning fork and you hit it. It vibrates so fast that you can almost not see it. So it's not quite fast enough.
I have a theory. The Jeffrey Epstein thing. So I was thinking of this morning. I bet that they put a cloaking spell around that whole thing. That's why people aren't paying attention to it. I feel like they do that shit. You can put a cloaking spell around something if you want people to not see it. That alien that I have over there, the one with the hood,
Yep.
people don't see him all the time. So his energy cloaks itself.
I didn't see it until you just pointed it out.
Exactly. People don't see him all the time. There's energies that can do that. You can work with that magically to protect yourself too. So if you're doing a protection ritual, then you can cloak yourself so nothing can see what you're doing. So what they could have done, because they used black magic, they could have be like, fine, let him go on the mainstream media. We're going to do a cloaking spell. So you can't, people won't even be paying attention. They'll see him, but they won't see him. And that's what's been happening. I've been seeing him on my timeline, I noticed. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Nobody's talking about this.
No.
It was kind of like I broke the spell. And I was thinking of that this morning. I'm like, they, sons of bitches, they put a cloaking spell on this whole thing that's happening. So it kind of like hypnotizes the human brain to not even pay attention to it.
And just to be clear, like when we say, well, at least me, I don't know what you think, but when I say black magic, to me, magic is just magic. What makes it black or white or whatever is just your intention.
Right.
To me, black and white are the same thing. It's just who's using it.
Exactly.
And what's their
Yeah,
intention.
yeah. I believe that too. Yes. Inez, you thought the same thing too with the cloaking spell? I'm curious on that because that was something I was thinking of this morning. I'm like, this is so weird how and then people are like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
And then she even said she tried talking to people about it and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So even something, if you really think about it, something like propaganda, you could consider a cloaking spell.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's leading you in a completely
Oh,
different
yeah.
direction.
Yeah, because it's one thing on the surface, but behind that is something else.
Right.
That's a cloaking spell. That is, it's something to program you. It's something to make you think differently.
Yeah.
So that's what people don't people are like, magic isn't real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, everything is magic. You bitches just don't get it.
Magic is just nature.
Yes.
It's the manipulation of nature.
Right. And that's why we were told that magic is the work of the devil.
Yep.
So we stay away from it.
Well,
and in ways,
so we stay away from it, and people in power
right,
can do
whatever they want
with it.
Exactly. And then I also think too, within this community is like there's a lot of manipulation in here too, because there's like a lot of I don't know. I tell people to, like, with the discernment thing, it's something that I'm going to start teaching a lot more, because it's like once you get to certain levels, that's when certain energies can start coming in and really messing with your energy field. I feel like when you're kind of new to it, you're not as susceptible because the work that you're doing isn't as in depth. But when you start going deeper down the road of magic, like when you're doing, you know what I mean? When you're doing, like, Jess made a fertility candle over there or something like that. When you're doing magic that's more intense and it's really going to affect a lot in your life, not just talking about like a prosperity candle is something that's like basic magic, but other things like a truth seeing spell. You know what I mean? You're opening the door for things that are more serious to come in. So it gets a little, you don't know what doors you're opening, So you really have to use a lot of discernment with the energies that you're working with, and you really have to make sure that you're protecting yourself. And I feel like that is something that is happening with all of this stuff becoming mainstream, is it's just like, oh, just go and do it. Just read it out of a book. You'll be fine, And I'm really trying to stress to people that you should have teachers. You should have mentors, and you should actually like them.
Yeah.
Like you should like their energy. If you buy product from people, you should like the person personally.
And before you do any of this shit, you need to delve into that shadow.
Oh, well, yeah, you got to do the healing work.
Yeah.
You got to do the healing work, because then you're just going to attract.
Like we talked about last week, Blavatsky's rule was always, don't do this, don't do magic unless you know yourself. And when I say yourself, it doesn't mean you right now. It means your past karma through every life, because you can bring in some shit and end up like Aleister Crowley,
right?
Who started doing sacrifices and shit like that.
Yeah. Didn't Aleister Black, the wrestler, go down the occult road and he went crazy?
I don't know if he went crazy, but he definitely.
I heard that. Well, I heard that somebody said that he stopped doing it because he did something or something happened.
What Blavatsky says, and most of her stuff, like I said,
I know a lot of people that have gone down that road.
Yeah, I think, it's a powerful thing. So it brings out your subconscious will, like we talked about last time. And
right.
If you're a bad person or you have bad intentions, it's going to come out no matter what. And if you're good with good intentions, that's going to come out no matter what too.
Right.
So you need to understand yourself before you go do it.
Right. Right. I think that's what I think that's like with the whole thing of this becoming more mainstream. I feel like there's going to be a lot of chaos with people trying to work with this because they're not being taught correctly or
they're just selfish by nature.
Right. Exactly.
Like say the elite who use this stuff. Those are the people in control.
But what about if we start thinking that we're in control? That's what I do. I do that a lot. I think about how in the future we're going to be more in control, like the better people.
I think everyone needs to be in control of themselves and
exactly
their life first.
Right.
And then everything will be in control.
Right.
Because you were talking earlier about kind of I don't know exactly what you said, but being your own like getting control of yourself first, and a lot of idea in the occult is like you're your own god, like not like God in the sense of like I created everything,
but you are the creator of everything that happens in your
you're
world.
The creator of everything. If the universe is mental, you are the creator of everything. If perception is reality, you are the creator of everything
right
in your life. And if you can control that, and everyone can control that, then I mean,
We'd be good.
We'd be good.
There wouldn't be Epstein's. We'd be like, it wouldn't even exist.
Right.
It wouldn't even need to exist.
But you got to start with yourself first.
Yeah. Do you think Voldemort was like an Epstein?
I don't know anything about Harry Potter.
Oh, okay. He did try to kill a baby in the beginning.
Did he?
Yeah, he killed Harry Potter. Oh, he tried to kill him. So yeah, and he was a Slytherin, and they were snakes, like the reptilians, and you got to watch Harry Potter. Anyways, all right. I don't know. I think that we're good for today.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think so. That was
We
good.
finally made it on. Something didn't want us here. I had to do a whole bunch of shit to get our stuff working here. And so we'll be on again in 2 weeks. We're thinking in September we're going to go on once a week. Trying to make it an every Friday thing.
Yep.
And we're going to start having guests too. Like we got to have Danielle on. So Danielle, we could talk a lot about magic. I think that the three of us could have like a great conversation, you know? All right. So if you have any questions or anything, you can leave them in the comments and like let us know about anything else. Like if you have ideas, you want us to talk about something, throw it in the comments.
Yeah, I'll definitely go back later and try to answer questions, or if anyone has any opinions on what we should cover,
Yeah.
talk about that, whatever.
I think that we should dive more into conspiracy theories next time and talk about, I guess we're going to talk about conspiracy theories. I don't know.
Oh, we're definitely going to talk about them. I don't want it to be the focus. But,
No.
Because I don't want to be that guy. But I definitely, you can't avoid it
Right.
with this stuff because black magic runs. We live in fucking Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, we do. Well, we live in Harry Potter land too.
All that stuff. But yeah,
So
there's fucking, what are the magicians? The black magician and the white magician.
what, in Harry Potter?
No, in Lord of the Rings. Sauron. And
Sauron and Gandalf the White.
That's where we are.
Yeah.
That's where we
Yeah.
are.
And then in
Literally.
Harry Potter, there's the Slytherins, and then there's Gryffindor, who's the lions. The Slytherins are like the bad guys.
Yeah.
And then there's Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw, who are like the in-betweens. I don't know. All right, so we'll see you all in 2 weeks around the same time, and I will have to do some protection rituals
Yeah.
before we even begin to think of this.
Hopefully no technical difficulties
Yeah,
after that.
yeah. All right, thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.
See you.
Bye.